Celeb 20 news updates.
Celeb 20.
Ahead of the buzz.
All things celebrity.
So let's continue this story.
Hey everyone, and welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
All right, well, get this. This time we're diving into some exciting news about Demi Moore.
Oh, what's the scoop?
Well, I was going through all these entertainment articles, and it turns out Demi Moore just got her very first Oscar nomination.
Wow, that's huge.
I know, right?
First ever?
First ever.
After all these years.
Decades in Hollywood.
It really goes to show you it's never too late.
And guess what it's for?
What?
The 97th Academy Awards Best Actress category for her role in The Substance.
The Substance. I haven't heard too much about that one yet.
Me neither, but based on these articles, it sounds like it's a pretty intense film. Body horror, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and she plays this fading star who's
interesting.
grappling with aging and trying to reclaim her youthful beauty.
That's a far cry from those romantic comedies she's known for.
I know, right? It's like a total departure for her.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Her career, it's kind of mirroring the film's themes in a way.
What do you mean?
Well, she's been in the spotlight for decades.
Oh, totally.
Constantly judged on her appearance, her relationships.
Yeah, she's always been in the tabloids.
Exactly.
It's like this film is almost a commentary on Hollywood's obsession with youth.
Yeah.
And the pressure on women to stay young and beautiful.
Especially in Hollywood.
Exactly. And for her to take on this role now, after all she's been through.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's like she's reclaiming the narrative, you know?
It really is. Think about it. The highest paid actress in the 90s, a sex symbol, scrutinized for her looks.
Yeah.
Now, she's starring in this body horror film.
Right.
That critiques those very pressures.
It's like she's turning the tables on Hollywood.
That's not just a career move, it's a statement. About how we view women as they age.
Wow. I never thought of it that way.
Especially in a place like Hollywood.
Okay, so we've talked about the bigger picture.
Right.
But before we go any further,
Uh-huh.
let's give everyone a little more info about The Substance itself.
Yeah, what exactly is this film all about?
Well, from what I gathered,
it
centers on Elizabeth Sparkle.
Elizabeth Sparkle.
Yeah, she's a fading actress.
Yeah.
Who's desperate to reclaim her youthful glow.
Okay.
So she pins all her hopes on this experimental treatment.
Right.
But
there's always a but with body horror.
Yeah, but things could go horribly wrong.
As they tend to do.
Of course.
So classic body horror setup then.
It seems like it, yeah.
Interesting.
And I've been seeing all these reviews saying Demi's performance is phenomenal, like her best yet.
Oh, wow. Really? Critics are loving it.
Yeah, they're calling it raw and emotional. Unsettling and unforgettable. Just amazing reviews.
She's already won a Golden Globe, right?
Yes. For this very role.
And nominated for a SAG Award, too.
You got it. So yeah, things are definitely looking up for her.
It seems like there's real momentum building here.
Okay, but we can't forget about her biggest supporters.
Who?
Her daughters.
Oh, of course.
They've been all over social media celebrating this nomination.
Have they? That's so sweet.
Yeah, rumor went all out on Instagram. You know, all CKPS excitement.
Uh-huh. I could just picture it.
Throwback pics, the works.
Oh, that's awesome.
Pure daughterly pride.
And what about Tallulah? What did she post?
Oh, I loved hers.
What was it?
She posted this throwback picture of Demi.
Yeah.
With Elizabeth Taylor.
Oh, wow. Now that's a clever post.
Right.
I see what she did there.
It's like she's subtly placing Demi amongst Hollywood royalty.
Yeah.
All those iconic women.
Like a visual lineage. I love it.
Now, what about Scout?
Yeah. Has she said anything?
Well, not publicly yet. At least not that I've seen.
Oh, maybe she's planning something special.
You know, something a little more under the radar.
Yeah. Keeping us in suspense.
But let's be real for a second.
Uh-huh.
This is a tough category.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, she's up against some serious talent.
Who else is nominated?
Well, there's Cynthia Erivo for Wicked.
Yeah, heard great things about that performance.
And you've got Mikey Madison for Anora. Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here.
Right.
Oh, and we can't forget Carla Sofia Gascon.
Oh, that's right.
She's nominated for Amelia Perez.
And she's made history, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's the first transgender actress to be nominated in this category.
Landmark moment for sure.
Absolutely. So no matter who wins, it's going to be a really powerful moment.
A win for representation, too.
Absolutely. This whole Oscar race,
it's
packed with talent.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking achievements.
It's going to be an exciting night.
But even with all that competition,
Yeah,
this nomination still feels so significant for Demi.
I agree. Why do you think so?
Well, it's not just about this one role, right?
Uh-huh.
It's about her whole career.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. She was one of the biggest stars of the 80s and 90s.
Oh, totally.
But she didn't shy away from roles that challenged expectations.
That's true. She's never been afraid to take risks. Like what?
G.I. Jane.
Oh, yeah.
Striptease.
That was a controversial one.
It was. And Margin Call.
Oh, you're right. She's always pushing boundaries.
Yeah, she's never played it safe.
Consistently taking risks.
And she faced so much criticism along the way.
Oh, I bet. People love to criticize.
Especially in Hollywood.
So true. Like when...
Well, remember when she posed nude while pregnant?
Oh, yeah. People were outraged.
They were. Or when she shaved her head for G.I. Jane.
Yeah, people really had opinions about that.
But through it all, she never backed down.
She just kept doing her thing.
Yeah, and she always stayed true to herself.
It's admirable.
And I think that's what makes this Oscar nomination so special.
Right.
It's like a culmination of all that,
All that what?
Her resilience, her refusal to be boxed in.
It's like her career is a testament to that independent spirit.
That willingness to challenge the status quo.
It really is. And now,
Yeah.
this recognition,
Yeah.
it's like it all paid off.
It's like the substance itself is a metaphor for her career.
Oh, how sick.
Transforming, evolving,
Yeah.
defying expectations.
I never thought about it like that. But you're right. It all ties together.
Yeah.
Speaking of transforming and evolving,
Yeah.
I think it's time we delve a little deeper into the substance.
Okay, but first, a quick word from our sponsors.
Okay, so we've covered Demi's amazing career, this big Oscar nomination.
Right.
But now I really want to dig into the substance.
Yeah, the movie itself.
It sounds like it goes way deeper than just, a regular horror film.
Oh, for sure.
Like it tackles some pretty heavy stuff.
It does, yeah.
So what can you tell us about the message behind it all? What's it really trying to say?
Well, what I find so interesting is how it uses body horror
Okay.
to explore those anxieties we all have,
Okay.
about aging, getting older. Like, what kinds of anxieties?
Well, that fear of becoming irrelevant, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or the pressure to stay young. Mm-hmm. That struggle to, define your self-worth.
Yeah, I get that.
All those things.
And it sounds like this substance really, pushes those anxieties to the limit.
It does.
It's not subtle, is it?
Not at all. I mean, you have this substance.
Right, that promises youth.
But with all these horrible side effects.
It's like a warning, right? About our obsession with, stopping time.
Exactly. And by setting it in Hollywood,
Oh, yeah, good point.
it just, magnifies everything.
Because Hollywood is all about image,
Right.
youthfulness.
It's like the epicenter of those pressures.
So the film's not just, scaring us for fun.
No.
It's using horror to get us talking about something much deeper.
It is, yeah.
And for Demi, taking on this role now,
Oh, it's perfect timing.
at this point in her career, it adds another whole layer to it, don't you think?
Absolutely. Here you have this woman who's, navigated Hollywood for decades.
She knows it inside and out.
And experienced those pressures firsthand.
She's been there, done that.
Scrutinized, judged for her looks
Oh, totally.
for years and years.
And now she's making a film that criticizes all of that.
Exactly. It's like she's taking all that baggage
Uh-huh.
and channeling it into this raw, unflinching performance.
It's almost like she's saying, I've seen it all, I've lived it, and now I'm going to expose it.
Right.
It's so powerful.
It is.
What are critics saying, though, about the movie itself?
Oh, they're praising it. For being bold, unsettling.
Okay, but is it just, a scary movie? Or is there more to it?
Oh, there's definitely more.
Like what?
They're acknowledging the intelligence behind it.
Yeah.
It's not just gore and jump scares.
It's got substance.
It does. Haha, no pun intended.
So is horror that makes you think.
Yes, and that stays with you.
That's what I like in a film.
Me too.
And you mentioned the director, Coralie Fargate. I've heard she's known for a pretty intense style.
She is?
Does that come through in the substance?
Oh, absolutely. She's a master of tension,
Oh, yeah.
creating this sense of unease.
Mm-hmm.
And in this film, she doesn't shy away from anything.
A grotesque.
Oh yeah, the disturbing stuff.
So it's not for the faint of heart,
No,
but it sounds like there's a purpose behind it.
there is.
A real message.
Definitely.
What makes this film so compelling, you said?
It's not just entertainment, right? It makes you think it's a provocation.
Okay.
To examine those pressures, you know, how we see ourselves, how we value other people.
Especially based on looks.
Exactly.
And the fact that Demi's like leading this conversation after everything she's been through, it makes it so much more powerful.
Oh, it does.
It feels like her whole journey culminating in this moment.
It does. Talking about resilience, reinvention, but I'm also curious about, you know, the personal side of this.
Yeah, good point.
We talked about her daughters.
Right.
But this nomination must be a huge deal for the whole family.
Oh, for sure.
This is a family that's, you know, deeply connected to Hollywood.
Right. I mean, her ex-husband,
Bruce Willis.
A legend.
And their daughters, Rumor, Scout, Tallulah.
Yeah.
They're all, like, navigating their own paths in that world.
It's like a Hollywood dynasty.
It is.
And to see Demi reach this point.
It must be so inspiring for them.
To see that perseverance pay off.
And staying true to herself, you know, even when it's tough.
Through all the criticism, the setbacks.
And I think that message resonates, not just with them, but with everyone.
It's like age is just a number.
Yeah.
You can defy expectations, achieve your dreams.
At any point in your life.
That's a powerful message.
It is.
But I want to go back to the substance for a minute.
Okay.
We talked about all the themes, the horror, the director, but I'm curious about the story itself.
What do you want to know?
Without spoilers, of course. Can you tell us a bit more about Elizabeth Sparkle's journey? Like, what leads her to this substance in the first place?
Well, at her core, she's grappling with this fear of fading away, you know, becoming irrelevant.
That's a big one in Hollywood.
Huge, right.
Right.
Like being discarded.
You're not young anymore.
Exactly. And that desperation, that fear, it leads her down this dangerous path.
Looking for that quick fix.
Yeah. A way to stay on top.
It's a classic story.
It is about ambition, about the lengths we go to.
But in this case, it's all amplified by those Hollywood pressures.
Yeah, where everything's about how you look.
So as Elizabeth goes through this transformation, what does the film want us to ask ourselves?
It makes us think, you know, what are we willing to sacrifice
for youth?
For that idea of you.
At what cost, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those are the questions it raises.
Ooh, heavy stuff.
It is.
But that's what makes it so interesting.
It's not just entertainment.
It's a mirror reflecting back at us.
Oh, I like that.
Our own worries about aging, about not mattering anymore.
And it pushes those anxieties to the extreme.
Through body horror.
To really force us to face those truths.
About ourselves, about society.
Yeah, the things we don't want to admit.
So it's not just Elizabeth's journey.
No.
It's all of ours, in a way.
It is, as we deal with aging, figuring out who we are, what we're worth.
Whoa, getting deep here.
I know. But before we get too existential.
Yeah, good idea.
I want to circle back to Demi's career for a second.
Okay.
We've talked about the risks she takes, the boundaries she pushes.
Right.
But is there, like, a common thread that connects it all?
Through all her roles.
Yeah, from the rom-coms to the more serious stuff.
Good question.
Well, what's interesting is, even in those early roles, those lighthearted ones, she often played characters who were strong-willed.
Really?
Yeah, independent, not afraid to challenge things.
Like, give me an example.
Think about Ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Determined to find the truth.
Right.
Or A Few Good Men.
Okay.
Going up against the whole military system.
So even then, there was that, like, rebellious streak.
There was that hint of it.
That desire to, like, push against expectations.
Yeah, and as her career went on, she really leaned into that, you know?
Those more complex roles.
Yeah, exploring the darker sides of people, the struggles, the strength of women.
Like G.I. Jane.
Perfect example.
Shaving her head, all that training.
Proving she could keep up in a man's world.
It's like she was constantly challenging what people thought a female actress could do.
She was.
What role she could play.
And now with the substance, it's like she's taking it even further. It's the culmination of all those years, you know?
Refusing to fit into that little box.
Exactly. And the fact that she's getting recognized for it now.
After all this time.
It's so meaningful.
It speaks volumes about her talent, her persistence.
Her commitment to, like, shaking things up.
It makes me wonder about her impact on other actresses, on women in general.
What do you think her legacy will be?
With this film, with her whole career.
Well, I think she's showing us that you can age gracefully on your own terms. Embrace those complexities that come with experience.
Not be afraid of it.
Right. And to keep evolving.
As an artist, as a person.
Yeah, showing vulnerability, exploring the tough parts of life.
And challenging those norms that try to, like, limit women's stories.
Exactly. It's like she's saying, I'm not going anywhere, I'm only getting louder.
Bolder, more unapologetic.
as I get older.
Powerful message for women of all ages.
It is, and that's why this Oscar nomination is so important.
It's bigger than just Demi.
It's about celebrating a woman who hasn't let age define her.
Who's pushed boundaries, redefined what it means to be a force in Hollywood.
And using her voice to spark these important conversations.
About aging, identity, all those pressures we face.
And the power of art to, challenge the way things are.
Well said. But let's not forget.
What?
There's still more to uncover.
Oh, right.
We need to talk about the ending of The Substance.
Yeah, how it all comes together.
And what it means for Demi's career, our own anxieties about getting older.
Definitely. There's a lot to unpack there.
So stay tuned. We're going to dive into all of that right after this short break. Okay, so we're back and ready to get into the ending of The Substance.
The final act.
Yeah. I gotta say, I'm pretty curious to see how this all wraps up.
You too?
Knowing everything we've talked about, the film's message and Demi's own experiences,
right.
It's gotta be pretty intense.
Oh, definitely. And without giving too much away.
Yeah, no spoilers.
For those who haven't seen it yet, the ending's definitely not what you'd expect.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So remember how we were talking about the film being a warning?
About our obsession with youth.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the ending really drives that point home.
So it's not a typical happy ending then? Everything tied up in a neat little bow?
Nope, not at all. It's more like a punch to the gut.
Oh, wow.
It really makes you confront the consequences of Elizabeth's choices.
Both in the film and, metaphorically.
Yeah, exactly. It challenges that whole idea that youth equals happiness.
So it's a horror film that sticks with you, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It makes you think. It's not just mindless entertainment.
That's what I like to hear. What are people saying about the ending online?
Well, there's definitely a lot of discussion. Some find it disturbing, even unsettling.
Yeah, I can see that.
Others see it as this powerful message about, vanity and the fact that beauty fades.
That's interesting. So it's a film that gets people talking.
Oh, yeah, definitely. People have strong reactions to it. I think that's the sign of a truly good film.
I agree. It means it's doing something, right? It's making an impact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it ties back to what we've been talking about all along. It's not just about Demi Moore's nomination.
It's bigger than that.
Yeah. It's about art. It's about using art to explore those anxieties we all have.
Those universal fears.
Yeah, exactly.
The substance is holding up this mirror and we see ourselves reflected in it.
Right. Our own insecurities, our fears about aging, about not being relevant anymore.
It's scary, but also kind of eye-opening.
Yeah, exactly. It makes you reevaluate things.
Like what?
All those societal norms that tell us we're only valuable if we look a certain way.
Especially with all the images we see every day.
Oh, constantly.
Yeah.
Youth, perfection, all of that. It's overwhelming.
The Substance is like a wake-up call.
It is, reminding us that real beauty comes from within, not from chasing some impossible standard.
So true. Okay, but let's bring it back to Demi for a second.
Yeah.
We talked about how she's faced all this scrutiny for her looks over the years.
Decades of it.
And now she's starring in this film that's tackling these issues head on.
It's incredible. She's really using her platform to make a statement.
It's like she's taking all that negativity and turning it into something positive.
Absolutely. She's using her voice to speak for others who feel the same way.
Who maybe don't have that platform.
Exactly. It's so powerful.
So it's not just a film, it's a cultural moment.
Right. It is. It's starting a conversation about how we view aging, about identity, about all that pressure to conform.
And that's what makes this Oscar nod so exciting. It's not just about Demi's talent, it's about recognizing those bigger issues.
Right. It's about art that challenges the status quo.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, there's one big question I think we need to address.
What's that?
What does all this mean for Demi Moore's legacy? How will The Substance be remembered in her career?
Well, I think this film definitely marks a turning point for her.
Okay.
It's like everything she's done, all the risks she's taken have led to this moment.
But it also feels like a new beginning, doesn't it?
Yeah, like she's entering a new phase.
Where she's using her voice to talk about these issues that are so personal and meaningful.
Exactly. It's like she's saying, look, I'm not just here to entertain you. I want to make you think. I want to make you feel. I want to make you question things.
About aging, about how we judge beauty, all of that.
And that's a powerful legacy to leave behind, whether she wins the Oscar or not.
I agree. Just making this film, starting these conversations, that's a huge accomplishment.
Absolutely. She's shown us that aging can be a time of growth and power.
And that it's okay to challenge those expectations that society puts on us.
Especially women.
Wow, what a journey. From those early roles to The Substance, Demi Moore has really left her mark on Hollywood.
And I think we'll be talking about her in this film for a long time.
Well, this deep dive has been a wild ride. We've covered so much ground, learned so much about Demi Moore and The Substance.
I know, it's been fascinating.
I'm definitely going to watch this film now.
Me too.
And to our listeners, I highly recommend you check it out as well. It's a film that'll stay with you. Until next time, keep exploring those topics that intrigue you, and we'll be back with another deep dive soon.